Bayonetta has asked us to boycott Bayonetta 3. So on Saturday, quite a lot happened, but let's backtrack a little bit. So a little while ago, I covered this on our Switch News series, but Bayonetta 3, the voice actor, was no longer going to be voice acting Bayonetta 3. We kind of knew that anyway, and that was Helena Taylor, who was replaced essentially by Jennifer Hale, who did Mass Effect and Samus from Metroid Prime at least. And Platinum Games said that this was because Jennifer Hale basically couldn't do it for whatever reason, you know, she was tied up with other things, essentially. However, it's come to light now that that was not the case at all, because Helena Taylor came out on Twitter with a series of 4 videos basically saying otherwise. So Helena Taylor came out with these 4 videos that are around 2 minutes long each and said, no, it was not because I had other work. It was actually quite the opposite. I didn't have any other work, supposedly. It was actually because they completely lowballed her in terms of her pricing. So she said she had to audition again for the role of Bayonetta for Bayonetta 3, and she passed it with flying colours. Of course, she created the Bayonetta voice we all know and love, right? However, when they went to essentially offer her a price, a flat rate price, so what that means is she gets paid a lump sum once, and that is all she gets, supposedly, that's what she says. They offered her $4,000 US. So that is for the entire game. So voice acting the entire game, all the cutscenes, everything else, $4,000. That's it, cut off point. Now she says that the Bayonetta franchise from the games alone supposedly has made around $450 million, and she thinks that her talent essentially is worth a lot more than this $4,000 because she has trained for 7.5 years across various voice acting things with famous people, etc. And yeah, she just kind of rejected that offer because she thought that that was too low, and she even got somebody to write in Japanese to the director basically saying, you know, I think I'm worth more than this, in which case they returned and replied that no, the offer stands at $4,000 US. Now, continuing on, she says that she wishes Jennifer Hale the best of luck. However, she doesn't find it right that she will now be able to sign merchandise and other things as Bayonetta because, well, she didn't create the voice. Helena Taylor created Bayonetta's voice and her sort of persona, if you will, and she feels that it's wrong that Jennifer Hale will now actually be representing Bayonetta moving forward. Bear in mind that Helena Taylor, yes, created Bayonetta's voice, but she actually voice acted on Bayonetta 1, Bayonetta 2, and also the movie, Bayonetta the movie, which I wasn't even aware of until very recently when I bought it, and essentially the whole movie is the entire first game, but in a movie format, which is great. So she voice acted Bayonetta for all 3 of those projects. Now, she doesn't state what she got paid for those 3 ventures, let's say. So we don't know how much she got paid for Bayonetta 1, Bayonetta 2, or for the movie. But now for Bayonetta 3 to return, she got offered this $4,000 and then rejected it. And that's not all. She's actually asked us all to boycott the game. So completely not buy Bayonetta 3 and instead to donate to a charity of our choice. She has said that this decision has led her to have mental illnesses and sort of, you know, it's not very good for her in terms of her mental space, which of course is a huge thing. You know, mental well-being and mental health is a big thing. It really is, and she has not been overly happy about this. So it kind of drives a question. I mean, I am not as well educated in this front. I'm not too sure what the going rate is for voice actors and actresses in games, so I don't know if that's a typical offer here. She does say that this is not in any way illegal, but instead it is immoral. So again, I'm not too sure what the going rate is for voice actors voicing entire games and projects. But $4,000 for something as big as Bayonetta, at least Bayonetta 3, it does sound typically low when you think this is a one-off payment. It doesn't seem like should be getting any royalties or any sort of, you know, figures based on sales or anything like that. But we do have to take into consideration there's been hundreds of people working on this game, and of course she is just doing the voice. So if you are thinking about boycotting the game, essentially, you need to think about everybody else that has also worked on the game. However, I do see her point, and I do see that she has created the voice of Bayonetta, which I love. You know, Bayonetta is a lot to do with the voice and the personality that Helena Taylor brings. And of course, even with Jennifer Hale being such a prolific voice actor, we can even see the differences there. She doesn't sound quite Bayonetta, but she's got it spot on. But again, that sort of leaves the question, is it right for her to be doing the same voice? Is it right for it to be going down the same route? I really don't know what to think about all of this, to be perfectly honest. I'm kind of trying to be impartial here. I'm a huge Bayonetta fan, and I just want to bring you the news of what's happened. If you missed all of this drama that's been going on over Twitter, essentially, on Saturday, and yeah, it's kind of sad. I won't be cancelling my pre-order. I know that's going to upset a lot of people, and I hope you don't take that, you know, as an indication of my character. I really want to play the game. I run a Nintendo channel. I want to bring you the latest and greatest news about the game, you know, when I eventually start playing it. However, I totally respect those that will be completely not buying the game anymore due to this. Now, I've no idea what's going to lead on from this. It kind of developed a little bit further as well, because the director of Bayonetta series, I'm not going to try and pronounce his name, it's Japanese, I'm still a little bit sick here, so, you know, I'm not going to try and embarrass myself too much by attempting his name. But he actually was on Twitter and practically came out and said in a post that wasn't directly related, he doesn't reply or anything like that, but he just kind of said it as a blanket statement in English, despite his whole account being in Japanese, that essentially this was a lie. Now, his account is a little bit suspect anyway. I mean, he's got his own set of rules on Twitter where he just bans everybody, and his account actually even got, you know, he deactivated his whole account, but now it's back up. It's been very, very weird. I don't really know what's going on. A bit strange on his behalf, coming out publicly being so sort of passive aggressive, let's say. But yeah, I don't know what's going to develop from all of this. Clearly there's some sort of issue here with people getting paid what they're worth, essentially, especially on massive projects. I would understand that kind of price point if this was an indie game, let's say, or a smaller project, but something as big as Platinum Games and Nintendo, I don't know, you know, what are your thoughts on all this? I'd love to know what your thoughts are. Will you be boycotting the game? Will you be still picking up the game? What are your thoughts about this with Helena Taylor no longer being Bayonetta and instead Jennifer Hale? Yeah, I'd just love to know all your thoughts, but that is the news that happened on the weekend, and I thought I'd bring it to your attention. And of course, if you are going to be buying the game and you're waiting patiently to the end of this month when it's released and you want some more information, maybe you've not been, you know, reading up on it or whatever, then go check out this video just here where I go over pretty much everything that they've shown recently. There has been some more information, but I haven't actually covered that just yet, but this is like the bulk of a lot of new features and a lot of stuff that's going on, so go check this video out and subscribe. Make sure to subscribe. And again, I'm sorry I sound a little bit weird. I'm still sick, sadly. So hopefully I'll get better soon, right?